Coming up on the Mark Few Show, the Zags stay on top of the West Coast Conference after a takedown of St. Mary's. Coach Few and company gives us the details. Plus, we relive some of the best moments inside the Kennel between Gonzaga and the Gaels. That's all right here, right now, on the Mark Few Show. Hi again, everybody. Welcome back to the Mark Few Show. I'm Greg Heister. Obviously, I'm not in Spokane. Behind me, Denali National Park. We're up here doing some pre-production for the upcoming Iditarod sled dog race. It's cold here, about 10 below zero, but boy, was it hot inside the Kennel, Gonzaga, and St. Mary's. And what a win it was for the 6th-ranked Zags. We caught up with Coach Few after the contest.
Low block scoring for him. St. Mary's made him pay. Good pass, corner, Innocenti. 3 is good, and the Zags needed that one.
This was just a great example of us just bonding together there in the second half and just getting back to who we are. We had 9 turnovers in the first half, which was really uncharacteristic. I think last week we had 0 turnovers in the first half. And so then we had 1 turnover in the second half. That was obviously the huge key. And then just sticking with the plan and hitting our coverages. I mean, we started the game doing that and guarding really well, and then we deviated a little bit from that, somewhat when we made some subs there. And then also at the start of the second half, we gave up 2 threes that were not, guys just kind of went off on their own plan. But then we settled in after that, and we had a great stretch of defensive basketball, which allowed us to get out and transition a little bit. And then also, look, I mean, Graham Ike getting 30 points after sitting out. I mean, he was, fairly immobile for 10 days. Is just a heroic performance, an absolutely heroic performance.
Spun baseline. Ike gets it to go. His first made shot of the second half, and the Zags back in front. Sometimes you can just sort of tell. Ike thought about the 3, got the big man to fall to the ground, and Ike throws it down. No. And Tyon Grant Foster went way up for the rebound. He got fouled by Wessels. And Ike guarded by McKeever, in and out. Innocenti, who's been a real spark here in this second half.
Well, we talked about rebounding a lot. You always talk about rebounding when you're playing St. Mary's. They're great at it. This team is no different than the other ones. I mean, and it even feels like they're a little bit bigger this year. And so we talked long and hard about it this week, and everybody stepped up. We had everybody. I thought Tyon really flew in there numerous times, and even if he didn't get the ball, he kept it alive and tipped it out. And Emmanuel rebounded the ball really well. Mario stuck his nose in there and got a couple. And we talked about it was going to be about our guards digging some stuff out because our bigs would have their hands full.
Good matchup here. Top scorer in the league, best defender in the league. Morley took a shot to his face. Still played good defense. Smith, great bounce pass. Innocenti lays it in.
Obviously, Jalen and Emmanuel, I thought, were just stellar on the defensive side of things. Which they have been all year for us, but they were the ones that were really making life difficult for Morauskas and Dent, and those guys are really good players, and those guys get a lot of different actions to get themselves the ball, and they got through all of those, but also just really guarded their yard and made those guys earn every one of their points, and that too was a big key, obviously in the second half, when we really shut them down. And then also they shot a ton of free throws, and they're an excellent free throw shooting team in the first half, and did a much better job of defending without fouling in the second half.
The Zags have won more than they've lost in this series, and only fitting that Graham Ike has the ball in his hands as the clock will wind down here, and the Zags will have a 2-game lead over the Gales and remain perfect in the WCC.
Hey, to get through January unscathed is especially with all the crazy adversity we've had. I mean, I was telling somebody the other day, like we've basically had 3 teams. We've had the team with Graham and Huff. We've had the team with Graham. We had 1 game versus Washington State. And we had the team without Graham and Huff, which we totally had to just scrap everything and just totally game plan on defense and offense. Then we came back to the team with Graham, but we hadn't really had much time to practice with him. So, yeah, now we need to spend some time on this particular group that we have.
Our ability to overcome adversity, no matter who's on the floor, is just so great.
Coming up on the Mark Few Show, we go inside the game with the guys, and we flash back to some terrific theater throughout the years. Stay right there.
St. Mary's is a good team, but it's all about Samhan, I feel like, tonight with the crowd. He's going to be the main focus.
Samhan! This photo, bro, talk to me for a second. Oh, is it your dog? I like your dog. I like your dog a lot. It's a bulldog.
For years, the matchups brought some high-quality entertainment, from the so-called villains to the heroes, for the final time as conference rivals. Fans in Spokane got the chance for a front-row seat to the theater these 2 programs produced. So let's flash back to some of that drama. February 6, 2006, in a tied game with 0.5 seconds on the clock, the perfectly drawn-up inbounds play got senior Sean Mallon to the free throw line. After missing the first, 6,000 spectators stood in silence for the second. And the Zags win in a thriller 62-61.
How about that free throw by Sean Mallon? Everybody talks about being up there, but who's got enough guts to step up with no time on the clock and win a game? That's big-time heart and character, and I'm really proud of him.
Now back to last Saturday night's showdown in Spokane. In our Inland Imaging A Look Inside, we go down to the locker room for reaction from the performers.
St. Mary's has won 2 in a row on this floor. Graham Ike has never beaten St. Mary's here at the Kennel. Double team came against Ike. Shot clock down to 3. Ike, good!
It's great to be back with the guys, man. Found a newfound love for this game and this team. Just when being out, and it's a true blessing to play this game. Can't take it for granted, and I'm just glad to be back with such great guys. Super relentless, and just our ability to overcome adversity, no matter who's on the floor, is just so great. It started with the 7 a.m.s in the summer. Coach built the callus for us to overcome adversity. We knew adversity would hit, maybe not this hard, but we still roll with the punches, man. We got it going, we kept it going, and I'm just so proud of these guys.
Foster, spin move. Gave it up. Sansuberi, 3 goes down. It's contagious.
As I always say, I'm always trying to help the team, and I think I'm shooting good the ball from the three-point line. Then the coaches are telling me to keep hunting threes and to stay ready on three-point line. And I thought it was a good shot. I took it and I made it.
Rauskas, meanwhile, he's having a hard time. No whistle. He's 0 for 4 in the second half. He's really cooled off. Nice pass. Innocenti, 3 again.
10 second half points for Innocenti.
Yeah, no, big shout out to E, man. I think he came up really big because when he wasn't guarding Morauskas, he was guarding Dent, and he was really making life difficult for him. But no, he's a great player. And I knew that, we weren't going to shut him out. He was going to score, but just trying to make his life difficult, trying to not let him get, the shots that he's used to all year. So, he's a great player, so he knocked down some shots, but I think we did a good job of kind of knocking him off his normal spots and his normal rhythm.
One shot that they gave to the Gaels earlier. Bad pass. Morauskas gave up his position. He just sort of stood up. And Dent was looking at him like,
pass by Ike.
Great pass by Ike.
It was really impressive because he's knocking down threes and picking up full court. And I think he did a great job of being shot ready when the moment came, and I think it really got our crowd into it as well, and we kind of just took off and really never looked back. Coach Hughes says all the time, these are the type of games you come to Gonzaga for. And yeah, no, we know the last 2 times at home they got us, so we definitely had a sense of pride trying to defend home court, and the crowd did a great job of lifting up, as they always did, but today it was A+.
Oh man, it was huge. We understood that coming in. The staff had made a good point of that. Obviously, the returners know with the past couple years the way that they've been rebounding. That's just something that they do. So if we could just clear, their big guys off the boards and just have our guards come in and rebound, that was the plan. And that's I think we executed. We did execute that. Jay Ward was 7. A lot of the guards were 5+, 3+, man. So it's a great form of us executing the game plan.
Another 3 from Graham Ike that might be the shot that really puts it away. How about that as a statement?
It's extremely personal. We know how much this means to the university and also to us, everybody here in Spokane, and we definitely wanted to take care of business. Personally, I had never beat these guys before on the home floor before this, and that was definitely something that I wanted to do in my last year, and I'm glad we could get that done.
It's kind of how we expected. I think shout out our scout team. They really got us ready this week. We're beating up on us, so we kind of were ready for the physicality, and we knew in those really exciting type of games that it's going to be physical, there's going to be foul calls, so we just really tried to, kind of set the tone physically, on the glass and with our aggressive drive, so it lived up to the expectation for sure.
A Look Inside is brought to you by Inland Imaging. Answers you can trust and care you can count on. A proud supporter of Gonzaga Athletics.
The Mark Few Show continues after this timeout. Back here on the Mark Few Show, and another look back at Gonzaga and St. Mary's inside the Kennel. It was January 2nd, 2014, where Karnowski conquered the Battle of the Bigs.
Karnowski feeling confident in the early going. Shemek Karnowski. Get one-on-one against Karnowski. Waldo makes his move and had his shot blocked. They have 6 now. Another block for Karnowski, and then Waldo rushed to follow. James Walker not stopping. Karnowski gets another block. Looks from the outside. Challenges Karnowski. Swats another one away. 6 block for the big man. Guinness lays it in. To prevent the open look from 3. Levesque got a hand up right in the face of Pangos, and they didn't call a foul. Smacked him right in the face. So Pangos just dishes off for the dunk. Timeout, St. Mary's.
The Zags would go on to win by 22, and Shem finished with 7 blocks, a Gonzaga single-game record that's only been matched one time since by Mr. Chet Holmgren. Now let's look back at our Bills heating and air conditioning hot plays from Saturday night.
Up to 206, Worley. He scores with a foul. Sansouberry tried to bounce it to Worley. Tough catch. Nice move with the left hand.
How about that footwork? The ability to be off balance and then just step right underneath and finish with ease.
Smith gets it back from Ike. Back to Graham. Ike dunks it home.
And Just great two-man game, and Brady Smith, excellent job making that read.
Rauskas, meanwhile, he's having a hard time. No whistle. He's 0 for 4 in the second half. He's really cooled off. Nice pass. Innocenti, 3 again.
10 second half points for Innocenti.
Sometimes you can just sort of tell. Ike thought about the 3. Got the big man to fall to the ground, and Ike throws it down. Double team came against Ike. Shot clock down to 3. Ike, good!
McKeever just stood there. Like Campbell made the right play by getting back off of him. He just expected McKeever to actually play defense. He didn't. He just sat in the paint and watched.
Tonight's hot play of the game is brought to you by Bill's Heating and Air Conditioning, a proud sponsor of Gonzaga Athletics.
More moments to come right here on the Mark Few Show. Welcome back. Time for our Rosars Fast Break of the week.
This game, Rauskas drives, hangs in the air, missed the shot. Here comes Gonzaga. Vogel all the way lays it in. And from behind, Worley again, there with a steal. Fast break. Tyon Grant-Foster, his shot was rejected, and yet it went in anyway. It got partially blocked and went in. Tough 3, way too strong. Outlet, Ike catches, Ike scores, and a foul.
How about that pass? I mean, it was the closeout by Ike. He just started running down the floor, but the dime by Tyon Grant-Foster to thread at the length of the court and allow his big man to just catch and go up. He didn't force him to have to put the ball down at all. The defense late in getting there.
Rooted in the Northwest since 1934, Rose Hours is ready to serve you. Scratch Bakery, finest premium meats, fresh local produce, and exclusively offering Huckleberry's Natural Market. Proud supporters of Gonzaga for generations. Locally owned and operated. Rose Hours and Huckleberries, naturally the best.
We go back to February 2019 of this series, where Gonzaga dominated in every phase of the game. They held the Gaels to under 26% from the field, put on a fast-paced show on offense, and left no one guessing what would happen in the second. Zags won by 48, the highest margin of victory ever against St. Mary's inside the McCarthy Athletic Center. And 1 year later, last game of the regular season, a tied game at half, but senior night would not be spoiled.
Gilder got rid of it and scored!
GU would win by 10, celebrate an outright conference championship, and special guest star Rui Hachimura returned to the stage that got him his big break in the NBA. We wrap up another show when we come back. Here on the Mark Few Show, we look back at one more moment in Spokane between these two programs. 2023, again, the final regular season game. St. Mary's ranked 15th in the nation, Gonzaga number 12, and ESPN College Game Day in town for the first time since 2009. Drew Timmy's 19 points led GU to a hard-fought 77-68 victory and a share of the WCC title with the rival Gaels. And the fight for another title in their season inside the West Coast Conference continues this week as Coach Few and company head off to Oregon to play the Portland Pilots on Wednesday, followed by a meeting with the Beavers of Oregon State Saturday night in Corvallis.
You know, Portland has played people really, really well this year in their building. And in fact, St. Mary's was lucky to get out of there with a win just last week. And then Oregon State's been great at home and really, really stepped it up and had some big wins. And obviously we lost one down there last year. So this will be a really, really big trip to, to test our maturity, I think, to be able to bottle up how we played here with the energy and the toughness on defense and the attention to detail and carry it with us on the road.
Same way we approach every single day of the season, try to find a way to get better. Just stay trying to win the day. We'll go back, we'll watch the film of this game and the next team, and then we'll just get ready day by day.
Of course, we'll have a recap of the latest week in Zagville. Ladies and gentlemen, have a great week, and we'll see you next week right here on the Mark Few Show. For now, so long from Denali National Park.